Hi everyone, I am doing my ESLA presentation concentrating on my U.S. history class. One of the things that I try to do for each unit is to pull in some primary sources. So this unit we analyzed 3 documents that were about the Stamp Act. So one of the documents was from a colonial newspaper, and another one was from a London newspaper, and another one, the author was an actual stamp tax collector writing to his bosses in London. When we do this lesson, we talk a lot about bias and about perspective, and we talk about corroboration and how you have to look at several different sources and understand the context in which each author is coming from. So this helps my students to become critical and creative thinkers as they apply, analyze, synthesize, and evaluate ideas, as they identify, locate, and organize information, and identify fact and opinion. Before students do the question about corroboration, we brainstorm careers in which corroboration is going to be something that they are going to need as a skill. So we talk about how just about every career needs to do some sort of corroboration in which they are analyzing evidence and trying to verify the validity of sources. Another thing that we did in this first unit was we watched the Schoolhouse Rock songs videos about U.S. history. So we watched No More Kings, Fireworks, The Shot Heard Round the World, and the Preamble. Once we had finished watching the short videos, I had them conduct a short research assignment based on something that interested them that they wanted to learn more about. So the student did it on import taxes, and he also did it on the Mayflower journey. We talked about EasyBib and a correct MLA citation, and one of the things that I wanted them to do this time was to just write me a short sentence that told me why they picked this source and why they thought it was a reliable source. In doing this, students demonstrated that they were active learners by being able to read, summarize, and study written text, and students showed they were active learners by properly using resources. Another thing that we did in this unit was watch a Middle Passage documentary that Steven Spielberg did around the same time that he did the movie Amistad. We talked about the historical definition of the Middle Passage, and then after watching the video, I had the students think about how the Middle Passage could be considered a euphemism for the event that took place, and I asked them to think of a better name for this event in history, and this student wrote The Barbaric and Inhumane Journey of the Oppressed, which describes it a whole lot better than Middle Passage does. Students also had to answer this question that I asked: how does learning about this help us to develop a deeper understanding of the roots of racism in our country? And the student wrote, I think it gives a whole other perspective as to how intense racism was, because we only see the remnants of what is left today. Though racism is still prevalent in this day and age, we often forget how deep the roots are. They were normal people who were simply living their lives when they were ripped from their home and taken captive to never see freedom again. It displays how flawed we are as a human race, treating others as though they are inhuman or undeserving of respect. Next, I had them answer the question, where I said, Spielberg says in the video, understanding history is finally what will determine our future. And I asked them if they agreed with this statement and explained why or why not. So most students said that they did agree because learning about history helps us to learn from our mistakes. And a couple of students said they did not agree, and they based it off of a faith-based answer, which I thought was pretty cool too. Next, I had them do a short little research assignment where they had to answer what human trafficking or modern slavery is going on today and what can be done about it. Some students might not have thought about any sort of modern slavery before, so it is my hope that perhaps they will accept some sort of personal, social, or civic responsibility for it by taking a look at the different kinds of organizations that are out there that are already working to combat this. As far as spiritually growing students, this one's always a hard one to measure, but I felt like this part of my unit was the best part to maybe pinpoint this. The one area that I thought that they could have perhaps grown spiritually is just realizing the dignity and sanctity of all human life, and to demonstrate God's love to others, and also to get involved in perhaps different ministry activities. Watching all of you guys do your ESLER presentations last year, you did such an awesome job. It was hard for me to condense mine, but I did it. So this concludes my ESLER presentation video.